Folks, at the time of recording this, it is 12:49 a.m. Eastern, April 22nd, and we have to break down another phenomenal Metropolitan victory led by Joey effing Fuego, the Mets' number 8 or number 9 starter heading into the 2023 calendar season, and he comes out and gives the Mets their best quality start of all of the season thus far out of all their starters. What a story. What another day for some elite offense led by Polar Bear Pete. Per usual, I'm juiced up. I'm so pumped up to get into this one, folks. We're not going to be terribly long tonight because, again, I'm exhausted from these West Coast games, covering them on the East Coast. But I had to be coming out. I didn't even know for certain if I was going to be covering the game tonight. But after seeing Joey Fuego carve up batters like no tomorrow, you knew that your boy had to be in here. So that is exactly what we are breaking down. How's it going, Mets and overall baseball fans? Thank you guys all so much for chiming in for the latest postgame show on WardyNYM as we are breaking down the nit and the gritty innings 1 through 9, what transpired in another Mets victory as they are 7-1 here on the West Coast. Joey Lucchesi, shout out to Michelle, his mama, good follower of mine on not only the channel but on social media as well. I can only imagine how pumped up the entire Lucchesi family is right now. He's a Cali native, so to go back home in that sense a little bit, he had to be feeling good. He gets the call up and he takes the utmost advantage of it, and now the Mets may have themselves another piece for this rotation for the 2023 season. Max Scherzer getting suspended, and this is what we see happens. This is absolutely huge. Joey Fuego, how you doing, baby? We're going to be breaking him down shortly, but guys, Mets fans, if you're watching live, thank you so much for being here. If you're watching a replay, the same applies. Thank you so much for chiming in as we break down every single Mets game for the most part this season. We're easily covering over 100 games here on YouTube. That's why we're the #1 post-game show that the platform has to offer covering the Metropolitans. Dave, thank you so much for the $5 holiday. Says Joey Fuego is the star of this game. Wow, Polar Bear Pete, great again. Guys, I'm amped up. I just want to deep dive this ball game, but I'm sorry. I know that we're gonna go through inning by inning, but this is one of those nights where I just need to start with the player of the game. We have 2 player of the games that we're gonna get into tonight, both offensively and on the pitching side, but we need to start with the guy that literally stole the show tonight from the start of this ball game all the way until the very end, and that is the beautiful, the one, the only Joey effing Fuego, Mr. Churv. Joey Lucchesi is the overall pitcher of the game. He is the player of the game. Beautiful, 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 masterful 7 innings of no-run ball, 4 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. He threw his fastball 80% of the time tonight, and a San Francisco Giants team that is the worst in baseball right now in K-rate, they showed, and Joey Fuego got a lot of swing and miss, got some key 3 if not 4 huge double plays on 97 pitches. He's the Mets' first starter to even pitch in the 7th inning this year. What an absolute bulldog. Guys watching live, people on replay, I need you guys to start spamming the fire emoji for my man Joey Fuego, or the Churv, the hand logo if you want to do that too, emoji-wise. Either way, he is the player of the game from the pitching standpoint. What an absolute stud from Joey Lucchesi. I mean, I said heading into this one, I would be complacent. I would be happy if the Mets just got 4 tops 5 solid innings, giving up 2 to 3 earned runs. That's all I would have asked for from Joey Lucchesi. And he said, you know what? No, I'm going to come out and I'm going to give you the best start the Mets have had amongst all their starters in the season thus far. You know how massive this is to get this type of production from your basically number 8 or number 9 starter heading into the year? It's uneffing believable. So Joey Lucchesi, we're going to be breaking down what he did through the innings, but you see through the highlights, he was a human highlight reel tonight. This man looked like a guy possessed. He hasn't pitched in right around 670 days, a year and 9 months since he went down with Tommy John surgery back in his last start was in June of 2021. This man come out of nowhere tonight, and just like that, the Mets have another piece to this rotation. Joey Fuego, how you doing, my man? So happy to have you back, and when I say you not only knocked my socks off and proved me wrong, you proved everyone wrong. Not that we were doubting you, but you can't expect us to expect something like this. just casually comes out for the first time. The last time he pitched in the MLB, guys, was almost 2 years ago, and he casually comes out tonight and gives the Mets their best start of the 2023 season. He's a dog. That's what he is. He's an effing dog. Joey Fuego, happy to have you back, brother, and I hope that we see more of you in this rotation. You know, this might be the first of many for you this year to keep at it like this. I mean, talk about an introduction to the season. My God, my goodness, my gracious, this changes a lot for how the Mets probably view the rotation. You just gave yourself a fair argument to be had here, folks, on it. Folks, that being you, Joey. Man, oh man, what a stud. What a stud muffin, this guy. Yoshima, great member as well. Thank you for the donation. It says, I have a feeling Joey Fuego is going to be our Trevor Williams-type pitcher this year. I would be more than happy with that. I mean, Lucchesi, again, we know that Joey's issue in his career has been the lack of depth in his arsenal, right? He has the curve we see, the cutter, the sinker, right? But he hasn't had a lot more mix. He's really been that 1-2 pitcher that we've seen early in his career, and he was heavy fastball tonight for sure with the sinker. However, just utilizing a 3-pitch mix or even a 4-pitch mix, that can be huge for Joey down the road, and either for the rotation or the bullpen as a long arm. Either way, Joey Lucchesi, my God, let's just break down this ball game. Let's get into it, guys. What a phenomenal baseball game to be covering the Metropolitans while they're out west. If you're staying up late for a West Coast trip, there's no better time to do it. I mean, I can't recall the Mets doing this well on a West Coast trip. They were 5-5 last year in June when they were out west. Right now, they're 7-1. They're 1 win away from the series victory and winning every single series out west that started with the Oakland A's, and they took care of business against the LA Dodgers. And now they're trying to, at minimum, take 3 of 4, if not sweep, the San Francisco Giants and the former Mets and Wilmer Flores, J.D. Davis, Michael Conforto, Darren Ruff, who had a 2-out single in the 9th. You know, whoop the effing do. I posted on Twitter the meme of Chris Paul when you know the meme, guys. If you know, you know. Chris Paul drains a 3, and the Suns are only down by 42. That's how I felt when Darren Ruff got that single. But seriously, this game was phenomenal. This West Coast trip has been phenomenal, and let's break it down. Let's get into this ball game. What a beauty! Joey Fuego, you beautiful son of a gun. Oh, what a stud. And yes, I did call him a stud muffin. I could be calling him a lot more things right now, but I'll stay a little PG with it for the time being. So we start tonight's game, guys, with a couple things I want to share with you. One, of course, Joey Fuego was called up, Joey Lucchesi, and in return, John Curtis was surprisingly sent down. I don't know necessarily the reason for that, but I imagine it's only short-term, right? I can't imagine John Curtis being sent down for a long portion of time. I know he just pitched in LA, so I'm sure that went in hand a little bit too, but I don't expect Curtis to be down there long. He's definitely coming back up with his team because he has been solid. Not every single time he's been out there. Gave up some barreled baseballs that we've seen against Oakland as well. But no less, John Curtis, I expect him back up with the Mets soon. And Ronnie Mauricio, I know we got a lot of Ronnie Mauricio lovers out there. Big update today. For the first time in his professional career, he played a position not named shortstop. He started at second base today, and Buck Showalter did tell the media today pregame that they are going to be having Mauricio play not only at second base, give him sprinkle at third and in the corner outfield. So for all of us that have been dying to see Mauricio get reps in a position not named shortstop, so that way he could actually be utilized potentially as soon as this year, we just got ourselves one step closer to Ronnie Mauricio making his big league debut. I don't know if it's going to be this year or not, but the way that the guy has been raking at O'Neal Cruz light, you have to be loving the fact that the Mets are starting to utilize him as the guy that can play in different positions and hopefully bring him back up to the MLB in the next year or so. Maybe sooner. Could be sometime this year. But for all my Ronnie Mauricio stands out there, I'm sure you guys are excited about that. I know I am. And speaking of the young guns, again, Francisco Alvarez, he's still pressing like an MF, but I will say, even though that Alvarez's at-bats are looking anything but pretty right now, a 21-year-old, I'm not concerned about it in the slightest. It's not a detriment to the Mets winning or losing ball games. What is a positive for Alvarez, I will say, is his framing ability. He called a masterful ball game with Joey Lucchesi today. It feels like every time that Alvarez has been out there catching, aside from a bad pass ball or two, he's looked really sharp with his overall defensive abilities. So once he gets the bat-to-ball skills going, once he gets acclimated to MLB pitching, I'm going to love those. And Brett Beatty just casually led the Mets today in the hardest hit ball with a 109-mile-per-hour single that he repped. He won 1 for 4, 1 for 5 on the day. But my goodness, I mean, just so many positives today to be a Mets fan in this West Coast trip. But the game starts in the first with, yes, you guessed it, a Brandon Nimmo single. Yes, Brandon Nimmo ripped a base. He has been unstoppable as Brandon Nimmo to start the season. He's batting .375 with a .989 OPS. Kind of good if you ask me. No, I'm not going to lie. Pretty damn sharp. In the bottom of the first, former Met that we all know and love, Wilmer Flores rips a double off of Joey Fuego. Well, that's all she wrote offensively for the Giants. They didn't take advantage of that opportunity. And boy, oh boy, the game was over before they even knew it. And you love to see that, right? As we get to the second, Daniel Vogelbach with a single. Mark Hanna with a fielder's choice gets him on base. Brett the Met rips the hardest hit baseball out of all teams. I'm pretty sure he hit a baseball harder than any Giant tonight as well. He rips himself a 109-mile-per-hour single to right. And then Gourmet with an opposite field RBI single. Gourmet loves going opposite. That's why we love Gourmet and his bat-to-ball ability. And just like that, the Mets have a 1-0 lead there in the second inning. Then as we get to the third, Wisely with a single, very wise of him, I suppose. I know, a stupid joke. Yeah, I know. To the fourth, Joey Lucchesi with his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Why? Because he's a dog. That's why. We love ourselves some Joey Fuego tonight. And the fifth, Gourmet with a single. McNeil with a single, then driving a run thanks to, it wasn't an RBI to him, but it was a throwing error from the pitcher, I want to say, the Giants. And again, the Mets got on Anthony DeSclafani tonight. Didn't pitch terribly bad tonight, but a guy that had a 1.62 ERA in his first 3 or 4 starts to come in the year matches up against the Mets tonight. He gives up 4 earned, 7 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts over 5 innings. Again, the Mets got the job done. The bats continue to play because after McNeil will get a single, get on first, and then a run comes in via error, Pete Alonso says, you know what? I want another home run. I'm getting double digits, the first out of all players in baseball to get it this year. He rips a 2-run ding-dong, his 10th of the season. Polar Bear Pete is on a nothing planet right now. He's on Mars. He's on Jupiter. He's on something because he's not on planet Earth with how well he's drilling this baseball right now. Holy guacamole, has he been on an effing roll. And I don't see him stopping anytime soon. In the 6th inning, then, as the Mets get a nice, comfortable 4-0 lead. Estrada with a single, but that's all she wrote. You think the Giants are going to drive in runs tonight? Of course not. As we then get to the 7th, Joey Fuego, how you doing? A 1-2-3, his final inning of the night. And you know what he does, guys? He strikes out the effing side. Why? Because he's a dog. That's why. Love this man. In the 8th, we're staying on the lefty front. Brooks Raley comes in reliever there in the setup, even though it's a non-save. A 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts for Brooks Raley. Beautiful outing for him. He's looked a lot sharper his past couple outings out there. Then in the 9th, with 2 outs. 2 outs, might I add. 2 outs. This is what the Mets do in the top of the 9th. They said, you know what? We want to add insult to injury. We want more runs scored, and that would surely happen. Nimmo rips a single a little bit up the middle, center left. Then we get Lindor with the single right afterwards, first pitch swing. McNeil with a hit by pitch right on his back foot toe. Alonso, a 2-run single, back-to-back nights. Polar Bear Pete gets himself 4 RBIs, a home run, and at least 2 hits. Daniel Vogelbach with an RBI single. Mark Hanna with a single. And Beatty would fly out to end things. And then a clean bottom of the 9th for Tommy Hunter. He gave up a base knock, had himself a strikeout in his first inning back since coming back from his back spasms injury. But let's get into the offensive guy, the offensive guru. Again, a lot of great offense from the Mets tonight. But, of course, the number 1 star is going to be Polar Bear Pete. Again, just barreling baseballs. He's on another planet right now. He's batting .293 with a 1,047 OPS. That's kind of good, if you ask me, right? I mean, literally a guy that we know has been the best slugger in baseball since arriving in the league in the 2019 season. He's not only looking like the best slugger right now in the game through the first, not right around a quarter of the year, not even, right? We're only through, 11% of the season? Regardless, he isn't looking great with the bat right now when it comes to barreling baseballs out of the park. He's grinding out at bats, and again, taking really smart swings. And I think this goes in hand with the pitch clock. Him not having to waste time and overthink much and his at-bats. He's just barreling baseballs, nukes galore to center, to left, to right. How you doing, Pete Alonso? Big Meat Pete, barreling baseballs all over the place. We love to see it. That is why he is our player of the game from the hitting side, and from the pitching side once more, it is your boy, Joey Fuego. I saw the Braves lost tonight too, because Yordan Alvarez is an absolute absolute monster. Hit a go-ahead, what was it, 2-run home run, I think, in the top of the ninth, and then the Braves would go on to lose tonight. So the Mets are half game back at first. That means nothing to me, but I just want to acknowledge that because I know that people have been saying that in the chat. We're tweeting about it too. So any night, doesn't matter the time of the year, anytime that you see the Mets win and the Braves lose, naturally as a Mets fan, you're happy about that. Naturally as a Braves fan, it bothers you. And again, it's all in good fun because it's, in my opinion, easily one of the best rivalries in baseball. I can't get enough of it with these two teams at their absolute prime right now. You'll love to see it. So we got Pete Alonso is the player of the game. As we get into the hitting stats a little bit more, just look at this. On a night-to-night basis, I almost don't want the Mets to go back home to Citi Field with the way that they have been playing out west. What a breath of fresh air. How many times do we see this Mets team perform this good out west? It's rare. It's not something that happens too often, so you got to enjoy it for the time being, like right now. The Mets had a total of 13 hits tonight and expected batting average of 318. Yes, you heard that correctly. 318. Brandon Nimmo with 2 hits tonight and the run scored. Lindor 1 for 5. Struck out his first 3 at-bats, but wouldn't be the last because he would get a hit tonight. He'll have that and a run scored. McNeil 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Not an RBI, but I kind of almost view it as RBI, even though it was a throwing error that led to a run scoring. Alonso, we just talked about it, an absolute stud. Alonso had 3 strikeouts tonight. It literally doesn't matter with the way that he's carrying this Mets offense in a lot of ways. But I shouldn't even say carry too much because the Mets are getting on base at a phenomenal clip right now. They really are. Daniel Vogelbach, a nice 2-hit game for him and an RBI there to tack on in the top of the ninth. You'll love to see that. Mark Canha, 1 for 4 today with a run scored. Brett the Met, 1 for 5. Alvarez 0 for 4. I know Alvarez's at-bats aren't pretty. It's funny, though. Even though Alvarez's at-bats aren't pretty, he was 3rd in the Mets tonight. And exit velo, I think 108 mile per hour, line out or ground out, whatever it was. I mean, Beatty should have had 2 hits today. His second one, which was 108 mile per hour, he was snagged for, I think, a line out, but Beatty was barreling baseballs really, really nice tonight. And Alvarez will get there. I've already had some of you guys saying to me that, oh, I'm really concerned about Alvarez. Hey, guys, no one should be concerned about Alvarez right now. He's a 21-year-old playing catcher for the Mets right now. How many times do you see a 21-year-old prospect not even be in the bigs, but to be a catcher? You know how rare that is? He's known for his bat-to-ball skills. That is surely going to come. The bat is exactly what has driven him and propelled him so quickly in the minors after being signed as an international prospect out of Venezuela a number of years ago. So Alvarez's bat is the least of my concerns right now. He's pressing. I know his at-bats aren't looking good. I know. But as long as it's not a detriment to this Mets team right now, winning and losing ball games, why are you going to complain? Just let him get his reps so he can eventually get comfortable. And hopefully at some point this year, which I fully expect, we're going to start to see him barrel some baseballs and hit that ball out of the park. So got to be patient with someone like him. Again, he's 21. Adley Rutschman is arguably already the best catcher in baseball. And Adley's at least 3, if not 4 years older than him. Just imagine what Alvarez will potentially be by the time he's Adley's age at 24, 25 years of age. The sky's the limit for this kid. Just give him a leash. I'm not going to be impatient with him, nor should you be either, because he is the future of the backstop position and already looking great with his defensive ability. That is for certain. But Alvarez 0 for 4 today. Gourmet 2 for 4 with the runs scored and the RBI. Gourmet looked very sharp today. You know, he's batting roughly 280 with a 700 OPS this year. I mean, these Mets bats, baby, they're breaking out, and they're breaking out at a beautiful time. Beautiful time. I'm sorry. I got to drool over it one more time, guys. This man, Joey effing Fuego, you son of a gun. I couldn't ask for anything better. Could you have asked for anything better? I think is the real question. Everyone in the live chat, people on replay. Shout out all my great members in here. Thank you all so much for being here. It really does mean a lot. People on replay, same applies. Make sure to let me know your biggest takeaways down below in the comments for people on replay from this Metropolitan 7-0 dub. 7-1 on the West Coast trip. We love to see it. But Joey Fuego, beautiful stuff. And as we take a look here, let's just talk for a second about his pitch breakdown. So Joey Fuego, again, utilized 3 pitches tonight. The sinker, you saw there, was right around 61% of his arsenal night was the sinker, and he topped out at 93, and the average was 90 miles per hour. Curveball, the curve that we know, 21% of his arsenal. A lot of swing and miss with that bad boy today. Average right around 79 miles per hour, and then the cutter, 19% of his arsenal, topped out on 91, and the average was 90. So, yeah, easy 3-pitch mix that we saw there with Joey Fuego. And now we're in a position with him where he may have just played himself into a role to not only be in the rotation for the, a little bit until at least Max is back, But more than anything, like this is going to be some healthy competition. This is great too. I see on I see Todd Zeal talking about on SNY's postgame show right now. Joey Lucchesi says, and I quote, postgame today, "I feel super grateful, super happy." That's awesome, because there's one thing that I noticed with Joey Lucchesi kind of early into his Mets tenure when they acquired him from San Diego in that 3-piece trade not long ago, which had was that the trade where Joe Musgrove went from Pittsburgh to San Diego? I feel like it was. Or was that a different trade? No less. And I know the Mets traded a really nice catching prospect. What's his name? Is it Endy? Is it Endy Chavez that they trade to the Pirates, and now he's one of the top catching prospects in the league? Which, sucks that you're probably want a prospect like that, but thankfully the Mets have great depth at the catching position internally when it talks about not only Alvarez, but the same with Kevin Parada, right? What a great draft pick that was last year. But no less, Lucchesi, when he first came to the Mets, he didn't seem like he had the best demeanor. Like, I feel like he lost a bit of his confidence because he wasn't fantastic when he was with the Mets. We're aware of that. This is far and away the best start he's had as a New York Met as a starter, and this is the best start he's had in his MLB career in a hot minute. We're talking multiple years since Joey Lucchesi has done something like this, and I know it was a perfect Cinderella story, the perfect storm, if you will, returning for the first time in just under 2 years, back in Cali, his home state, and he comes out and he balls out tonight. So I'm not expecting him to go 7 shutty every 5th day that he's out there. However, hopefully we see a little bit of consistency with Joey, because it's going to make for a great problem to have if you're Buck Showalter, Jeremy Hefner, and this entire Mets coaching staff. So Brooks Raley again with the shutout inning. Same thing with Tommy Hunter, just phenomenal all around. Can we Andy Rodriguez, not Andy Chavez? Duh. Thank you. Appreciate it. I knew it wasn't Chavez either, so I appreciate you guys correcting me as you always do. But look at this. Okay, let's just admire it. Let's go. Let's stare the highlights together. Ground ball machine. J.D. Davis doubling up. It's almost like I've seen this one before. That was probably the funniest shit. You're telling me J.D. Davis couldn't hit a lick against a 90-mile-per-hour fastball from a lefty? What? I'm sorry. It just cracks me up because this is the same shit that we saw the past 2 years. Not one, but two beautiful. See, you got him caught looking there. JD, what you doing? As I say this, he's going to hit a bomb tomorrow. But again, on Darren Ruff as well. Oh, was that Darren Ruff? No, that wasn't. I'm lying. I'm an ass. My apologies. But Joey Fuego today. With the double plays. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Had 3 or 4 tonight at minimum. Strikeout machine. 9 punchies for the southpaw. 9 punchies. I just got to admire it for another man. I really do. My goodness. What a beauty he was, guys. Just look at that. Look at that turn by Beatty, too. Oh, Tagurame to first. And it's a double play. JD, again, starting these off there. Oh, caught looking again. Oh, you love to see it. What a good night. What a good night to be watching this Metropolitan team. And Joey Fuego carving up these mofos. I'm cracking up because this was such a pleasant surprise. Like, that's how I feel about it. Who expected this tonight? Joey Fuego expected it. Apparently, Pete Alonso postgame when he was interviewed with Steve Gelbs said that, Fuego isn't getting out of the game tonight. Like, he's going to ball out until he's ready to come out. And he did. What a dog. What a dog. And guys, we're going to be getting out here very shortly because, I am absolutely shot. Covering these West Coast games has been brutal to say the least when it being, a content creator. It has not been overly fun besides actually doing the live shows, but I'm absolutely gassed. My sleep schedule's all over the place. But there's one thing that thankfully helps the sleep schedule for me constantly. It is our partner on the channel for a good portion of time now, and that is Manta Sleep. Guys, if you don't know what Manta Sleep is, it is the best sleep mask out there in the game that you could get, and all you gotta do is use my code WARDY for 10% off. Make sure you click the link in the description down below. This is the Manta Sleep Pro that I'm going to show you guys right now. It is an absolute thing of beauty. I was sleeping like a baby last night. Slept in because of it, all thanks to this bad boy. And if I didn't have this during these West Coast trip games, I would be all over the place. I know that I'm a schmuck to begin with, and I'm stuttering on my, I'm saying nonsense and I'm rambling as is, but I would even be delirious. I would be hallucinating from, not getting sleep during this West Coast trip. But thankfully, because of Manta Sleep, I'm getting my sleep. And to just talk a little bit more briefly about Manta Sleep, guys, again, the best sleep masks in the game. You got to use my code WARDY for 10% off. I'm a guy that had never, ever had interest in using sleep masks up until today, up until the past 2 weeks plus rather. They have a sound mask. If you guys want noise cancellation but to have your own music playing, they have a Bluetooth sound mask that's so comfortable. It's so awesome. The Pro Mask, which is what I have, which is a bestseller for them. Then they have the sleep mask. This is the OG, the Silk Mask. They have a weighted sleep mask as well, guys, which is absolutely bananas. They have a weighted sleep mask. They have a sleep mask for kids. They have a steam mask in which you would heat it up and it literally releases steams around your eyes. It's crazy. They have a cool mask. If you guys get really hot at night like I do when I'm trying to go to bed, they have a cool mask. Isn't that beautiful? I don't have that one for myself currently, and I need to get, that's the next one I'm going to get. And the weighted mask too, if you want some nice pressure, light pressure added onto your face and hitting the nice pinpoints, then that is the one for you. But guys, they have the best sleep masks out there on the market. I'm not just saying that because they're a partner here. I mean, from someone that has used at least 2 other sleep masks prior to my life and they didn't work at all, this is a sleep mask I can use anywhere that I'm at, especially on the go. Even if I'm on a flight and I'm trying to block everything out, especially you want the Bluetooth one for that to get the noise cancellation, have your music playing, and knock out and get yourself a good rest for however long your flight is. Again, make sure to check out Manta Sleep for 10% off your purchase, guys. Use my link in the description down below, and thank you so much in advance. Well, I just love this thing, and I love covering this Mets team, and a big reason as to why I've been able to cover them so easily on this West Coast trip. There's a reason why I'm the only schmuck out there that's constantly doing these post-game shows on the West Coast trip, and I have Manta Sleep to thank for. So again, shout out to them for giving me the best sleep imaginable. And again, thank you so much, Mike Marino, for the $1.99 donation. I appreciate that. He says Alvarez hit a ball harder today than Nino ever has. I fully believe it. And again, Alvarez is 21 years of age, so the fact that he's doing this at his age is nothing short of unbelievable. And what is also unbelievable is how many concurrent viewers we're getting this late at night for, again, a fan base that is mainly East Coast. I know we got you guys out West Coast. I know we got fans all the way in the UK, Australia, wherever you're watching overseas. So I appreciate you all in the different time zones. But for, again, a Mets fan base, the majority of you guys are in the East Coast. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate getting easily 300 to 400 live viewers in the live chat. Is always means the world to me. So thank you so much for that. And Jason, know you're a god. Thank you so much. Gigi is doing fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, Mark. I appreciate that. Let's see. You said you need the weighted with the gorilla head. You got more. I do have a bobblehead. That's true, JJ. I don't know how the weighted would do anything for that. That's funny, says South. You guys are cracking me up. But guys, thank you so much once more for chiming in. Mets win by a final score 7-0. Dave, thank you so much for the donation, $5 Holly. He says, bought 2 mantas for me and 1 for my friend, 2 Bluetooth and 1 cool. Waiting for them to arrive. That is awesome, Dave. Thank you so much for that. Dave, please make sure to let me know how you like them, especially the cool one, because that's the next one I'm personally going to obtain for myself, because I get really, really hot at night. Like, I feel like a sauna, especially because I have a box light on me. I'm sweating bullets doing these post-game shows, and even after I shower before I hit the hay, I'm still really hot at night all throughout summer. So that coolant one, I think, is going to work wonders for me. I cannot wait to try it. But again, appreciate you buying them, and thank you so much in advance, Dave. It really, really does mean a lot, my friend, for your endless support. But guys, that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Mets win a big one. They look for the series dub tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern game. I got a busy Saturday, guys, so don't be shocked if the most content I do tomorrow is, say, just a quick recap on my phone with a little lapel mic. I wouldn't get my hopes up about a live stream. We'll see how the nights go. But more than anything, if we do have content, it'll probably be a quick video, unless it's something truly insane that happens with David Pearson on the bump. And then the series finale, Sunday night game. I think it's ESPN, which is unfortunate. That always sucks, but, we're going to leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. For guys on replay or ladies, make sure to let me know your biggest takeaways from this Mets W in the comments below. And guys, appreciate you so much. And as always, let's go Mets, baby. Talk to you guys.